come, Ray. The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. Now the 2-1. Line drive to the base hit. Justice has scored the tying run. Green to the plate. And he is safe. Safe at the plate. The Braves go to the World Series.
Have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines that sat when they were children and cheered their heroes.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable!
A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead by a score of 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Ford Field to win the 1960 World Series.
They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past.
The Pope arrived at Yankee Stadium. As one enthusiastic announcer put it, he is standing on second base.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is goodbye. Big World Series. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run.
Racker throws. There's a left back. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
The memories will be so thick that I can brush them with my faces.
The 1-0 delivery to Fisk. He swings, long drive, left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run. The Red Sox win. And the series is...
Lolis fires. Ball is hit high in the air. This should be the series. Freehand waving everybody away in foul territory. Detroit wins.
Here's the pitch to Willie. Here's a liner straight to Richardson. The ball game is over and the World Series is over. Willie McCovey hit it like a bullet. A line drive right.
Baseball to mark the time.
The Oakland A's take.
I'll tell you what, we're having an earth.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Candlestick Park for Game 3 of the 1989 World Series.
It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
Frank Robinson, the right-hand batter.
Long drive to left field. Way back. Yes, it's goodbye. Home run.
Base hit loaded, 1 out. Pena in a jam. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it.
Ozzie with 1 out. Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run. And the
Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
Broadcasted live.
Who wants to have some fun?
There are balls coming from all over the place. Left field, center field, right field. See, this is the kind of thing, quite honestly, right now, that makes you want to see the Chicago Cubs team lose.
Now, are you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
It'll be fun.
Will the next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, and get them out of here. You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
That is the farthest thing in the universe from the truth.
Hello, everyone, live. It's the Dan Scott Show. And right there is your host, Dan Scott.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the program. I am your host, Dan Scott. Very, very good to have you with us this morning, and very happy to start getting back into the daily swing of things here on the show. This I don't know if you guys have heard, but college football practice has started all over the country. And the rumor is that here in the South, this is a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal all over the country, as a matter of fact, but especially here in the South. It's funny. After growing up in West Virginia, living in Florida and the state of North Carolina for a little bit, which was basketball crazy, and living in Cincinnati, which is kind of split between its pro sports and its college basketball. We moved into this area back in 1999, and I quickly got indoctrinated into how seriously people around here take their college football. In fact, I had a little phrase that I used to use in the early days of my being here, and that is that I had always heard in the South that college football was a religion. I just didn't know how often the church doors were open. For some people, as I used to chide them on the old radio talk show, there are 3 seasons. There is college football season, there is recruiting leading to signing day, and there is spring practice. And then that's it as far as they're concerned. I tend to be a little more broad-minded than that when it comes to my sports. My focus is not quite so narrow. But let me say this. I love me some college football, and I am just stoked about this upcoming 2018 season here on the Furman University campus, where my home loyalty lies growing up in the state of West Virginia. This could be a big year for the West Virginia Mountaineers, and Dana Holgorsen desperately needs one. All across the landscape of college football, there are a lot of storylines. Unfortunately, not all of them good, as we discussed on Thursday to a certain extent. But the bottom line is that it's kind of like spring training for baseball, which, as you should know by now, is my favorite sport. This is a time of year when optimism reigns supreme. It's the time of year when everybody is undefeated, when every rookie has that potential, or every freshman has that potential to be a breakout player. Every veteran is going to take his game from this level to this level. There is nothing but eternal optimism flowing throughout football camps all across this great country. And then September 1st is going to come around, and some of that optimism is going to go straight into the dumpster. But until then, this is very much a glory period for all college football fans, because as of yet, their teams haven't lost any games. So right now, they're not mad at the coach. They're not mad at the offensive or defensive coordinator. They're not mad at the strength coach. They're not upset at the administration for not providing this or providing that or sticking with this coach too long. They're not mad about the play calling on third down. They're not mad about goal line situations. They're not mad about the inability to get off of the field on third downs. Right now, everybody's happy, man. Everybody's undefeated. There is optimism flowing all throughout the world of college football. And like I say, it's very much like the world of spring training where baseball is concerned. Regular season is coming, though, and a lot of those hopes are going to be, if not dashed early, at least questioned early. And then that's when the real fun begins, because the storylines begin to develop, and you begin to follow them and track them. And, you have to look no further than just this campus. If you want an example of the ebb and flow of a football season over the course of 11 or 12 weeks, in Clay Hendricks' first season a year ago, you remember You go to Wofford, this team is a complete unknown. It's a brand new staff, a brand new offensive system. We've heard about it. We don't know exactly what to call it. They're calling it the hybrid because it's got so many facets to it. You got a brand new defensive coordinator. You got all these things going on, and you're going up against a team that's ranked in the preseason top 10 in the Wofford Terriers, and you go over to their place, and you find yourself in a situation with, I think it was 27 seconds or something like that left in the game, where you're going for two to try and pull off a monumental upset win on the road in conference in the first game of the season. Unfortunately, that two-point conversion attempt failed, but you've got all kinds of optimism about you. And then the next 3 weeks happen, including a loss at North Carolina State. You had a loss to Elon in there as well, and you're looking around, and suddenly you're 0-4, and you're thinking to yourself, man, this thing may be a longer rebuild project than anybody needed. Well, what happens? You go to Colgate, you get a big, big win on the road. You come back home for East Tennessee State, you get a big, big win in a wildly entertaining game here at Paladin Stadium. You put 56 points on the board in front of the home folks, and suddenly you've won 2 in a row. Well, that momentum built. It was 3 in a row, then 4 in a row. Then it just kept going and going and going. And all of a sudden you look up and you've won 7 games in a row going into Samford at the end of the regular season, and you got a shot to play for the conference championship. And it became such a swing of emotions that at the beginning of the season, with the 0-4 start, as that was building, people were trying to temper their comments, temper their thoughts, and say, well, this is going to take a while. And all of a sudden, you flash forward 6 or 7 weeks later, and suddenly you're disappointed at the idea this team might not make the playoffs regardless of a 7-game winning streak. Well, as we know, they did, but that's how the expectations changed. And that was just encapsulated in one college football season. Coming off of a year that saw a coaching change become necessary and all of the unknowns. So I say that to say this. There are going to be storylines like that develop all over the country, whether it's at the FCS level, whether it's at the FBS level, and you know, most of the national focus is going to be on the teams that are going to be in the running to get to the 4 playoff spots at the FBS level. But man, there's a lot of football to be played before that really becomes even a legitimate source of conversation. And the storylines, how quickly they can change in just a matter of a week or 2 weeks, or sometimes even a play or a series. It is incredible to watch what can happen and to have a front row seat for one of those kind of storylines last year here on Furman's campus was phenomenal. I'm starting to get a little bit fired up, man. I'm the baseball guy, and here I am talking all this wonderful stuff about college football, right? Well, there's a reason, because it's a great sport, and we're looking forward to seeing how things play out as this season goes on. A few weeks to go, though, to get there before September 1st rolls around. And incidentally, as an aside, wouldn't it have been fun back in the spring to have been able to put together some head-to-head scrimmages between some regional teams, or instead of a spring game that kind of means nothing, to be able to actually play another opponent and use it for charity or use it for something like that? Just something to think about. On the program today, speaking of football practice, we're going to hear from Furman head coach Clay Hendricks after yesterday's first official workout. We're also going to take a look at the just-released FCS Top 25 poll from the folks at Stats and get through some other news and notes. Also, we are going to announce the winner of this $100 gift card to Cabela's. If you are a hunting and fishing and camping and outdoor type of person, well, this is going to give you some free money to go into Cabela's and spend. And then we invite you to go to the new website, thedanscottshow.com. You'll see it here in the contact info, thedanscottshow.com. And our next prize that we'll give away on Monday of next week is a free party at Spare Time of Greenville. This is 1.5 hours of bowling and rental shoes for up to 8 people, and it's a $120 value. This is the actual gift card in my hand right here. So if you like to bowl, this is the next giveaway, $120 value, a free party for 1.5 hours of bowling and rental shoes for up to 8 people at Spare Time Entertainment. That's located at 822 Congaree Road here in Greenville. So that is next on the list. That will be given away on Monday of next week. But a little bit later on in the program, we're going to announce the winner to the Cabela's gift card. All right, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll hear from head coach Clay Hendricks. Before we go out, just a reminder that the show is presented to you by my friends at Carolina Creative. When the show needed a technology boost, I turned to Carolina Creative Group. My custom design website is going to take marketing as well as brand strategy and development to new levels. The search engine optimization means my clients' ads are going to be seen by more people more often. And if I have questions, Carolina Creative is just a phone call away. Friends, that is just the tip of the iceberg. Find out all the ways that Carolina Creative Group can help your business by calling 864-250-2012. That's 864-250-2012. Or visit them online at carolinacreative.co. carolinacreative.co. Carolina Creative, not just simple, but simply brilliant. When we come back, it will be more of our college football talk, and we'll begin with head coach Clay Hendricks and his brief comments after yesterday's practice. That's coming up right after this.
Holding, number 79, defense, first down. I'm also holding a party tonight.
Great call by the official. Looks like we've got another flag on the field.
Holding, a Pepsi. Necessary refreshment.
Hey, Ted, bring some of that Pepsi to my party.
Pepsi and the NFL. Welcome to the Fun Doesn't End Zone.
When the Furman baseball team goes on the road, it travels safely, comfortably, and with the latest technology with Jeans Tours and Charters. Jeans has been a Furman favorite for decades and has serviced Furman baseball for over 20 years. Take it from head coach Brett Harker. Book your next road trip with Jeans. Jeans Tours and Charters online at jeansbussvc.com or call 864-242-1673. Jeans Tours and Charters, servicing the upstate since 1980.
If you've been sidelined by an injury, the St. Francis Sports Medicine team is here 24/7 to get you back on the field. Our highly trained network of physicians, athletic trainers, and physical therapists treat all types of sports-related injuries, even those that don't occur from playing a sport. Call the St. Francis Hurt Line at 675-HURT for priority appointments or at-home advice. Again, that's 675-HURT.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy. This rookie can really bring the heat.
He's smoky and spicy with a Chipotle style all his own.
It's a new Montgomery Inn Chipotle barbecue sauce. Make it a part of your home team.
Available now at your neighborhood grocer or online at CincyFavorites.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. I am Dan Scott. Good to have you with us. Tuesday edition. Man, it is a brilliant, brilliant sunshine-filled morning here in the upstate of South Carolina. Did you catch those thunderstorms yesterday afternoon, though? I was out in one, and it was both impressive and kind of unsettling at the same time. But probably more of that on the way this afternoon as well, so just kind of keep that in mind as you're out there running around. Quick word about my great friends at the Atlanta Bread Company. What do I like about Atlanta Bread? Can I tell you that in just a short period of time? No, but I'll try. How about fresh bread baked daily on site? Tremendous selection of soups, sandwiches, salads, seasonal special additions to the menu, delicious hot coffee, a bevy of other drink options, and yeah, even though I'm not supposed to go by that counter anymore, the baked sweet goodies. Dine in or carry out. And by the way, when you have the Atlanta Bread Company app, you can order and pay online and then breeze past the lines to the pickup counter to get your food. Experience it for yourself. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville. As a matter of fact, I have a business lunch meeting after the show today, and that is where we are going. So I promise you, when I say that I eat there and I enjoy the food, I do it. I put my money where my mouth is, or in this case, my sandwich where my mouth is. All right. Yesterday was the first practice of the 2018 season for Clay Hendricks' Furman Paladins. And for you Paladin fans, you know we try to give you some special insight here, something you don't get anywhere else on a daily basis. Hunter Reed, as he always does, right on top of things. Here is what the coach had to say following yesterday's opening practice.
We're here with Furman head coach Clay Hendricks following the Paladins' first practice of the preseason. And coach, a lot of good work this spring and even more work this summer. I'm sure you guys are glad to be out, get back out on the field and get into it, get ready for the season.
Yeah, you know, these last couple of weeks have seemed like forever just trying to get to this day, and we're probably one of the few schools still in school. You know, a lot of guys finished up session 2 of summer school, and so we're just having to work around that. So we're going at night, and but good work, good enthusiasm, like it is most places the first day. We just got to keep that up. I really like 2 things. I think we're in phenomenal condition. You know, we got to play ourselves into playing shape. And I like the way we look. I mean, we certainly look like a different football team than we did, I know, a year ago. A little bigger, a little longer, maybe a little quicker out there. So I'm excited about that part of it.
Well, you just took away my next question. This is preseason number 2 for you, and as a head coach, many as an assistant, many here at Furman as a player. But talk about some of the differences between what you see now versus your first go around a year ago.
Well, just comfort level. I think first of all with our staff, just having guys were. I knew they were good before, but just everybody's on the same page exactly. I think we have a pretty good idea what our guys are capable of doing. You know, what football stuff we've been able to do with them in the summer, which is not a lot, but certainly the carryover. This time last year, we were just still trying to find our way and who are we, and this was new for me. So certainly just a lot more comfortable in everything we're doing.
A lot of new faces out there in terms of many new positions. Talk about George Squalls moving from tight end to offensive coordinator, coaching the quarterbacks, and you got Drew Duke in a new position, and Antonio Wilcox, and traded into Jersey now. He's in a coaching position. Talk about some of those guys and the transition they had in their new position.
Well, obviously George and his track record. This is not the first time he's been in that situation. He's had an incredible record developing quarterbacks and being prolific offenses and winning football games, and that's what we're trying to do. Obviously Drew, he's been prepping for this for a long time. I think he's probably well beyond his years and a little bit of preparation, and that's one of the things that's appealed to me. He's a really bright guy and good worker, and I'm excited for him to get a chance and have full confidence in him. Antonio's going to help us. Certainly have a guy that just played, I know will help in his role on our football team. And, made a few position shifts, but not a lot. Got a few guys in a few different positions, and got a really good young group. I think some of those guys will play a part this year. I told our old guys, some of these freshmen will help you win some games. Hopefully it's not as many as we played with a year ago, but it'll be interesting to see if we can just continue to develop each day and get a little bit better.
All right, there you go. Clay Hendricks after yesterday's practice. I guess the thing that struck me the most was talking about the physical difference in the team, and you hope that they've made the strides that they were shooting for in that in that category. And I know that David Abernathy before, and now Andre Bernardi since he's been here, they have really upped the ante with these guys to get them in better shape, put on muscle, make them bigger and faster and stronger, and all the things that every college football program talks about. But you recall Clay Hendricks at the end of last year in the loss to Samford and the playoff loss to Wofford, used the phrase, "we got exposed," after both of those losses. And what he was talking about was the fact that there were guys who were just in better physical shape than his guys. They were bigger and stronger, and eventually it caught up to them. And, you know, he had to play with the hand he was dealt when he was hired into this job, and could only do so much in that first preseason and off season. But one of the reasons they went so early in spring practice this year, remember they did spring practice here in February, and one of the reasons Clay was very upfront about it and very adamant about it, he wanted more time in the weight room from the end of spring practice to the beginning of fall practice, and felt that that was going to be where his team was going to make its greatest strides, even more so than what they were able to do on the field during spring practice. Now, that was important, obviously, because you're going to have some new guys in new positions. You've got a quarterback battle going on between Harris Roberts and Jamar Lincoln, and neither one of those guys started a game. Lincoln obviously redshirted last year. Roberts got some playing time during the year, but he was the backup to P.J. Blazejowski, who had such a phenomenal senior season. So the on-the-field stuff, yeah, it was definitely important, but in the big picture, Clay was very upfront about it. We got to get bigger. We've got to get faster. We've got to get stronger so that when they come across some of those same opponents this year, or perhaps some different opponents come playoff time if all goes well, they won't run into those same issues. And to hear him say they look like a different football team physically after yesterday's practice, I think is a good thing. Now, as I said, this is the season of optimism. Coaches all across, it's like signing day. You know, I long for the one press conference that is shown on national television on National Signing Day, and you know, pick one now, the one in December, the early signing period, or the traditional one in February. I long for the press conference that's shown on national television where the coach steps up to the podium and says, well, you know, we really did not do what we needed to do. We've got to go back and we've got to reconfigure things and see where we went wrong, because we just did not sign the caliber of player that's going to make this program successful. Have you ever heard a coach say that on signing day? No. They all say, we got exactly what we want. We've got some guys who are going to change the program, guys who are going to, you know, some guys are going to be able to come in here and play immediately, and others who will get them in the program and redshirt them and get some weight on them, and they'll be contributors in the next year or two, but we got everything we were looking for. And then they go out and, you know, they go 3-8. Something like that, and then the next year, you know, maybe 4-7, and then 2-9, and then there's a new coach coming in after that. You just never hear a coach say anything but positive things on signing day. Well, this is kind of the same thing, but having a little bit of insight to exactly what's been going on here and seeing some of the work that's been going on in the weight room, and knowing what I know about Clay Hendricks and the conversations we've had not only here in this studio, but the private conversations we have. If he says this is a different looking team, then it's a different looking team, and that can only bode well for the future. And it kind of gets you excited about what it's going to look like in another year or two with some of the guys who are going to be here for that stretch of time. You know, this is still an incredibly young football team. You've got some veterans at significant positions, no question about that. But remember the number of young players who had to play last year out of necessity? The freshmen who started. Sometimes you would look up on defense and there would be as many as 6 or 7 freshmen on the field at the same time. Well, those guys are a year older now. And they're going to be supplemented by some guys who were redshirt freshmen last year. And maybe the occasional true freshman will come in and start to play now. But I know Clay's mentality, as many of the guys as he can get in here in redshirt and get that year under their belt of acclimation and in the weight room and nutrition and everything, that's the plan. And as he gets further into his tenure here, it's a plan that should become easier to follow. Right now, again, he's kind of still, to a certain degree, dealing with the hand that he was dealt, although it's not nearly what it was a year ago. It's gotten a little better, and it's going to continue to get a little better and a little better moving forward. I can't wait to see what this team looks like. I can't wait to see the physicality of this team. And that's the thing that jumped out to me of all of his comments. The thing that jumped out the most was they look like a different football team. And coming from the head coach and knowing what his plan was, that tells me that they've been able to execute that plan in the off season in the weight room. All right, we need to take a break. We will come back after said break. And when we do, we will take a look at the brand new in the preseason FCS Top 25 poll. Before we go out, though, just a reminder about my friends at Security Complete. You know, I've been telling you for some time now that I switched to Security Complete for the protection of my home and my family. You should do the same for your home, family, or business. I've been just ecstatic with the results that I've gotten. They're locally owned with more than 40 years of experience in the industry, and Security Complete uses nothing but the latest technology, which equals low overhead, which equals greater savings to the customer. Fully automated systems with monitoring rates much lower than the competition. Security Complete gives you all this and does not, let me repeat that, does not require a contract of any length. And that's a game changer, folks. That's going to save you so much money over the course of the next 2 to 5 years. It's unbelievable. Find out more by giving them a call. You see the number there on the screen, 546-0360. You can find them on Facebook and Twitter. In fact, you go to my website, thedanscottshow.com, at the sponsor box at the bottom of the front page. You click on their logo. It'll take you right to their Facebook page. And that's the way it is with all the sponsors at the website, by the way. It'll take you either to their website or their Facebook page. That's Security Complete, my first line of defense. Make them yours today, 864-546-0360. All right, we'll come back quickly and take a look at the FCS Top 25 poll. We'll do that and more in just a moment.
Zaxby's food has always brought people together. Catering to the big moments, the little wins, the long talks, and the quick getaways. Because food this inviting is bound to add a lot of flavor to your life.
Introducing the Zax Pack. Served with chicken fingers, sides, Texas toast, and iced tea. Pick one up for dinner or your next event. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
I was surprised recently when I learned that Americans spend $80 billion a year on illegal sports gambling. Sure, that's spread out over millions of gamblers, but still it makes you wonder where that money's coming from. Unfortunately, too often it's coming from money that was intended to buy groceries, pay the mortgage, or even put children through college. If gambling's had a negative impact on your life, call the SC Gambling Hotline toll-free at 877-452-5155. Help is confidential and available 24 hours a day. A message from the South Carolina Department of Alcohol and Other Drug Abuse Services.
If four spinning objects can grip thin air, then four spinning objects can grip solid Earth. The Maserati Ghibli, with available Q4 intelligent all-wheel drive. The Maserati Ghibli. From $70,600. Experience Maserati now.
Since the 1950s, upstate residents from all over have come to Stack's Original. It's simple. Stack serves the best Southern-style down-home cooking in the area. Whether you're looking for a healthy breakfast, delicious lunch, or a relaxing dinner, Stack's has it all. Every Sunday after church, enjoy a great lunch with your family, including country-style steak, fried chicken, baked ham, and much, much more, plus a huge selection of side vegetables. It's easy to see why Stack's is the Greenville tradition. Call about our catering services for your next event. Stack's Original, 1704 Poinsett Highway, Greenville.
All right, show continues here on this Tuesday edition of the program. Don't forget, coming up, before we get out of here, we'll be giving away this $100 Cabela's gift card. And the next one up is the free party for up to 8 people at Spare Time Entertainment, 822 Congaree Road. You like the bowling? You like that? $120 value. This gets you an hour and a half of bowling and rental shoes for up to 8 people. This is the actual gift certificate that you'll be getting. And how do you get it? Well, you go to my website, thedanscottshow.com. A pop-up box will be the first thing you see. Fill it out, and you'll go into the drawing for that prize. We also have a couple of other prizes coming up later on, including at the end of this month. Like that good old-fashioned Southern rock and roll. How about the Marshall Tucker Band at the TD stage at the Peace Center? We'll be giving away tickets for that. As a matter of fact, that'll be kind of our grand finale as far as the weekly giveaways go, the Marshall Tucker Band tickets. But anyway, be announcing Cabela's coming up here shortly and more as we go on. We're going to continue, but first, just a reminder about my buddy Trevor and the folks at the Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca. If you're looking for the perfect frame for that special photo or painting, Custom Corners can deliver. Family owned for nearly 4 decades, Trevor and the folks at Custom Corners Frame Shop pride themselves on quality, presentation, and professionalism. They offer picture framing, I should say, for every budget. Every job is custom. Custom Corners Frame Shop also sells work from local artists as well as locally themed gifts. For more information, you see all the contact info, 289 Market Street in Seneca. Their Facebook page is there, and also the phone number, 882-7736, plus an email address. That is the wonderful shop that is Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca. All right, this is the season of the preseason poll, and the FCS level is no different. You know, the first coaches poll at FBS is out. Clemson is number 2 in that. Tom Van Hoy and I were talking on a Greenville Drive broadcast the other day as that came out. I think it's now a federal law that Alabama has to be ranked number 1 in the preseason. I think that was signed into law by the president not too long ago. But anyway, the preseason polls are also out in the FCS, and kind of the bell cow for FCS polls is the Stats FCS Top 25. There are others, and you'll see here that Furman is once again a preseason Top 25 team, coming in at number 23. North Dakota State, they just continue to be dominant. They're number 1 again. Then James Madison, South Dakota State. You see so many of the usual suspects. It's like the FBS poll. The usual suspects are going to populate this thing. Sam Houston State at 4, Kennesaw State 5, then Jacksonville State, New Hampshire, Weber State, Eastern Washington, and Wofford at number 10. You look at 10, 11, and 12, all 3 of those are Furman opponents this year, 2 of them in conference. So the Paladins have 3 top 12 opponents on their preseason schedule. That will help the old strength of schedule thing without question. Northern Iowa 13, then North Carolina A&T and Delaware at 15. The next 5, Central Arkansas, McNeese State, Nicholls State, Villanova, and Stony Brook. And then the bottom 5, Illinois State, Austin Peay, Furman, Montana, and Youngstown State. So when you look at the makeup of the poll, as I said, it's very top-heavy with the usual suspects. Wofford, new coaching regime for the first time in eons after Mike Ayers stepped down following last season. How good are they going to be? Right now they're living on reputation. And make no mistake, folks, I mean, they made a nice run again last year. That there's a lot of talent on that football team. But what's the dynamic going to be with the new head coach? Well, we don't know. We're going to find out. Sanford and Chris Hatcher made the noise last season and rewarded with a preseason number 11 here in the Stats Top 25. And then Elon, who Furman played twice last year, lost to them here on a last-minute field goal, and then won that thriller in the opening round of the playoffs, and the difference in the game being a blocked extra point for a 28-27 win. That came in the fourth quarter. So kind of the rubber match, if you will, even though it's different teams, different year. We get to see them again, and we'll see them in the second game of the season up in Elon, North Carolina, for a 6 o'clock start in week 2. So that's what the poll looks like. I don't think there's any surprise that North Dakota State is in the number 1 spot. They have just been as dominant as you can be at this level. They get a lot of Division I transfers who come there. Furman, of course, played there in the second round of the 2013 playoffs up in that dome. And it is quite the home field advantage. I'm really sorry that I missed that for a couple of reasons. Some of you know the story, but the basketball team played Fordham in the Bronx, and the timing was such where I would be able to fly up there with them, get back, and then a day later fly with the football team to Fargo for the second-round playoff game. Well, all that was going swimmingly. We had a great time in New York. Paul O'Neill, the former Cincinnati Red and New York Yankee, always put Red first, even though he won one title with Cincinnati and, 4 with the Yankees. But he was a Red first. Anyway, his son Aaron was on the team, so he took us on a tour of the new Yankee Stadium and took the team out for dinner down in Times Square. It was a phenomenal trip. Was to try to get home the next day, and we can't get out because of weather. We're fogged in and ended up having to stay another day, so I missed the Fargo trip. And incidentally, now, as it turns out, because of what happened in the next 2 summers when I did some long-distance delivery work on my spare time, the only state in the contiguous 48 states that I've never been to is North Dakota. And I missed that opportunity in 2013. Maybe we'll get the chance in 2018. Who knows? But no surprise, they are at the top. And as I said, you look at this again, and all the usual suspects are up there. James Madison actually getting some first-place votes this time. That top 10 is pretty formidable, and it's going to be a fun year to watch in the FCS. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, it's 10:40. I need to take another break, and we're going to come back, and the show's actually going to end a few minutes early this time because, as mentioned, I have a lunch meeting. As we go through the rest of this week and into next week, we're going to start rotating some guests in here. The soccer teams are also practicing here on campus, so we'll be talking to Doug Allison, the men's coach, Andrew Burr, the women's coach. Of course, they're the defending regular season champs in the SoCon. We will be doing a catch-up with Brett Harker about what's shaken out with the baseball program. You've undoubtedly seen there are some pretty significant changes that have taken place there, but a lot of optimism moving forward for the 2019 season. So we're going to get Brett in here. And in a couple of weeks, we will resume some of the things outside of the scope of Furman that fall into our regular bailiwick, if you will. Dave Glenn of ACCSports.com will be rejoining us in a couple of weeks. Billy Davis will be rejoining us in a couple of weeks when he gets back off of the latest tour he's doing with Franklin Graham right now. And there's some other things that we're putting together that I'm hoping to be able to announce 100% or with some 100% certainty in the not-too-distant future. But one of them, trying to work on a cast of folks we can get in here on one day a week and basically just have a college football style, roundtable style discussion of the FCS, of the FBS, and beyond. So we're working on that and trying to get some people lined up for that as well. Anyway, all that is coming up as we look forward. A lot of football talk, awful lot of football talk as we move forward. But anyway, a break, and then we'll come back, and I will announce the winner of the Cabela's gift card, and we'll put a wrap on the show for today. Dan Scott Show will return, and we'll wrap it up a bit early on the other side.
Holding, number 79, defense, first down. I'm also holding a party tonight.
Great call by the official. Looks like we've got another flag on the field.
Holding. A Pepsi. Necessary refreshment.
Hey, Ted, bring some of that Pepsi to my party.
Pepsi and the NFL. Welcome to the Fun Doesn't End Zone.
When the Furman baseball team goes on the road, it travels safely, comfortably, and with the latest technology with Jeans Tours and Charters. Jeans has been a Furman favorite for decades and has serviced Furman baseball for over 20 years. Take it from head coach Brett Harker. Book your next road trip with Jeans. Jeans Tours and Charters online at jeansbussvc.com or call 864-242-1673. Jeans Tours and Charters, servicing the upstate since 1980.
If you've been sidelined by an injury, the St. Francis Sports Medicine team is here 24/7 to get you back on the field. Our highly trained network of physicians, athletic trainers, and physical therapists treat all types of sports-related injuries, even those that don't occur from playing a sport. Call the St. Francis Hurt Line at 675-HU-RT for priority appointments or at-home advice. Again, that's 675-HU-RT.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy. This rookie can really bring the heat.
He's smoky and spicy with a Chipotle style all his own.
It's a new Montgomery Inn Chipotle barbecue sauce. Make it a part of your home team.
Available now at your neighborhood grocer or online at CincyFavorites.com.
Hi, welcome back. Final segment of the program. As mentioned a moment ago, we're going to wrap up about 10 minutes early today and should be back at full strength and full time tomorrow. Before we go any further, just a reminder about my friend Sherry at Premier Auto Motivations. If you're looking for a great car but your credit needs work, Premier Auto Motivations is a professional referral service motivated to help you drive a car you love while rebuilding your credit. Late model cars of all kinds, Premier Auto Motivations can get you on the road and your credit on the road to recovery today. Serving all of upstate and South Carolina, it's Premier Auto Motivations. Call Sherry today at 864-722-3785. You see it there on the screen, 722-3785. Or you can email cricketgravely@gmail.com, cricketgravely@gmail.com. That is Premier Auto Motivations. All right, we have been having folks register for these prizes that we're giving away at the new website, thedanscottshow.com. Incidentally, if you're looking for information on any Division I football program in the state of South Carolina, just simply go to my resource page, and you'll see them listed there. You just click on it, and it'll take you to a fantastic information page for each school that will include their athletic website. And then also there are a list of some of the more popular national websites for various sports, and then a list of what I call my favorites, which includes FurmanPaladins.com, the Furman Sports Report, and a place where you can go order some Montgomery Inn ribs and Skyline chili, CincyFavorites.com. That's just a handful, all on the resource page of the website. So if you're looking for something involving a Division I school in the state of South Carolina, you're looking for something on the national sports scene, just go to my website, thedanscottshow.com, go to the resource page, and you can access just about anything you need from there. And if there are some websites you'd like to have us add to the resource page, shoot me an email, dan@thedanscottshow.com, and we'll check it out. And if it looks like it will add to it, we will add it to the resource page. We want to make it just a one-stop shop for you to come and find all the information you need using us as kind of the jumping off point. And also, as we move forward, there's nothing on that page yet, but when we do interviews, video interviews of people in studio, highlights from the Furman games and other things along those lines, those will be posted on the website. I'm really looking forward to what this is going to do for the program, but more importantly for you, the sports fan. So be sure to check it out. thedanscottshow.com. There it is on the top of your screen again. All right, let's get to it. We have been registering folks to win prizes. Last week, Angela Roberts won a pair of tickets to go see Sister Hazel at the TD stage at the Peace Center. And this week, it is a Cabela's gift card. Prior to the show, we reached into the Magic Hopper, went elbow deep into it, and had an unbiased third party pull out a name, and that name for this week's drawing, the Cabela's gift card, is not the top 25 poll. It's the click underneath it there, genius. Congratulations, Stephanie Van. Stephanie Van, you are the winner of the $100 Cabela's gift card. If you're not watching, we'll be contacting you shortly and figuring out the best way to get that to you. But congrats to Stephanie Van for winning, and thank you for registering at the website. So up next again on Monday of next week is this gift certificate for Spare Time Entertainment at 822 Congaree Road. This is going to get you and 7 of your friends, total of 8 people, an hour and a half bowling, including shoe rental, absolutely free at Spare Time Entertainment. So it's a free bowling party on us for up to 8 people, and that includes the shoe rental. That is our next giveaway. You just register at thedanscottshow.com at that pop-up box when it shows up. Listen, thank you so much for indulging us today. We look forward to being back with you tomorrow and continuing talking college football as preseason is the practice schedule is just getting ramped up, and storylines are going to start developing all across the country here on this campus as well as campuses everywhere you can shake the proverbial stick at. And we're looking forward to being in a position to bring you some of that news and commentary and have some fun along the way. Just a reminder again, our show is presented by the Carolina Creative Group. My buddy Randy Looper and the folks there would love to hear from you. CarolinaCreative.co is their website. You can find out how they can help you with digital marketing and website design and development and all sorts of other things. Fantastic people, and you will really enjoy working with them. That is going to wrap it up. We will be back with you tomorrow, same time and same place. Until then, I'm Dan Scott, saying God bless you and so long, everybody.